This podcast is intended for educational purposes only. For more information and our full disclosure, please visit NC-MIDWIFERY.com and our podcast page. Well, welcome back to More About Birth. We have another episode with Shannon Bennett and Angie Hansen, your hosts. We hope that you enjoy this. Please subscribe, share this with your friends, and enjoy another episode of More About Birth. Hey, ladies.
Hey, what are you doing, Angie?
I'm thinking I need to order some of this stress and sleep in here.
Hey, Angie, what are you looking at?
This is such a cool little pamphlet here. It's like paper, so it's like real, right? Like I can hold it and touch
I know,
it.
seriously, don't you hate looking through online catalogs where
I
you
get
have to
tired of it.
flip through pages? I love paper catalogs because I mark them up, I put stickies in them, I circle things, dog ear the corners. She's looking at a Mountain Meadow Herbs catalog because we've been talking about the fact that we're going into cold and flu season. And honestly, one of the biggest questions that I get is, how can I beef up our immune system?
Yeah.
During pregnancy, what can I do for my kids?
Yep.
What can I just do for my family in general? So we thought it'd be fun to do a podcast on it.
Yeah.
So guess what? We're doing a podcast on
I
it.
need to boost up my immune system.
Immune support.
Yes, you do.
Especially with all the stuff that's going on, right? You know, dog hair
Oh,
in our house.
what's that got to do with your immune system?
all the foods I'm not supposed to be eating, right?
That right there, which is a
Okay.
really good point.
I'm sure there's other reasons right now. in
And
the world
Angie,
that I should
Nice
be worried
segue,
about.
Keith.
Angie's the Nazi for this.
Uh-oh.
Tell us about gut health, Angie, and what it has to do with your immune system.
Well, I'm definitely not an expert, but I think we do know nowadays that, a huge amount of your immune system actually resides in your gut.
In the gut.
And so, taking care of the things that irritate the gut, like food allergies and the things that cause leaky gut. We're not going to get into that in depth, but it's just something to be aware of. So taking out the things that are going to harm your gut and adding in the good things that are going to stimulate.
Give us some
the gut.
examples.
So, of the good or the bad, or both?
Of the good.
Or the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
So leaky gut, just so for guys like me that don't know, is that like...
It's when there's this open sore in the middle
really?
of your belly, and it just kind of like continually oozes out your good nutrition.
You don't absorb things the way you should. It's like you leak.
So is that like normal? Inside your belly
not
there's
like-
a
Not
sore?
inside, no. I mean, just right on
It's
the
not
front.
like leaky
It just comes
bladder.
out.
It's
Are you serious? Are you
Does
making this
not.
up?
I'm totally
It does
kidding. I'm
not.
joking.
Oh my gosh.
Joke.
I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Okay.
Until you said it was leaking right out of the
You
front of
should-
your
But you
gut.
have to put a Band-Aid
you should call
on
Guinness.
mess.
This is
You
horrible.
should call Guinness. Nobody ever gets Keith.
I know.
He's not
There it
gullible
is.
at
You
all.
have it now,
I
and I'm
feel
not on camera
so
because I didn't turn my
accomplished.
camera
Leaky
on.
gut
so.
is where your gut just kind of, for lack of better explanation, leaks out nutrients. It doesn't absorb things like it should because it's unhealthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the right answer. You
I
did
like
get
my
me.
version.
I do admit it. You did get me.
Yes, and one of the main ways that you heal that issue is through figuring out what are your inflammatory foods. So that can be things you're allergic to, or just some of the big hitters like the gluten and the
Dairy.
refined grains and sugar and that sort of thing. It's different for everybody, so.
And you can have testing to find out what that is, but honestly, if you just really pay attention to your body, you will notice. Like, I know when I eat sugar, I feel like poo the next day.
Yeah.
My body hurts, my bones ache. It's almost like you've got arthritis. It's terrible.
Yeah, with me now, if I do any sugar, like 2-3 hours later, I go into this coma.
Oh, sugar coma, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what gluten does to me.
Yeah,
I feel
literally-
sleepy and dumb.
Literally fell asleep, at 6 o'clock one night, and I don't ever go to sleep then.
Yeah, and then he slept till 9:30 and stayed
And all
up
I
till
had
4 in
was
the
those-
morning.
All I had was those fruit things, right? They're fruits
Okay,
and
so to
vegetables.
pass out for Halloween, I bought fruit snacks.
Okay.
Well, Keith ate a bunch of
I
them.
hate a bunch, man. They tasted so good, and I haven't had anything that tastes
hasn't.
good in so long.
And then I look at it, I think I bought like natural all fruit snacks. I look
Right.
at it, and one of the first ingredients is corn syrup.
Yes.
Yeah, and so Shannon looks over at me. I have my jacket on, and I had been eating them for like the last half hour, and all of a sudden I stuck a
I
wrapper
know.
in my pocket, and she gave me that mom look like, "You're busted." I was still eating them a half hour later. I literally fell asleep for 2.5 hours in the middle of the evening, and then could not sleep until 3:30 in
The
the
poor
morning.
kids, I was trying to get away from giving them pure white sugar candy, and instead I gave them corn syrup.
And they're all excited, fruit snacks. My mom will let me eat these tonight, and they're full of corn syrup.
Your
so-
neighborhood can thank you.
Seriously, we didn't have very many trick-or-treaters. So probiotics is another one, and it's kind of become a big thing lately. Everybody needs probiotics.
You do.
There are even probiotics that are safe to give your infants. Probiotics isn't really something that you can like OD on,
Yeah.
so you don't have to worry about too much.
Yep.
What is Angie's favorite fermented food?
Booch.
The booch?
The booch.
What is booze?
She promises me that there's a brand that doesn't taste like dirty sock, but I haven't found it yet.
Well, how would you know what dirty socks taste like?
Well, it tastes like dirty sock smells.
I always wonder when we use those analogies. So
Some
like, did
interesting
you-
things going on in the Bennett household
I
this
know.
week.
I know. Just the other day, I got up and Shannon was up early, and there she was, eating that dirty sock. Just kidding.
Yeah, right?
What?
Roast
Yeah.
dirty
Yeah.
sock
No, that would be the dog that
That
does
would be the
that.
dog.
So tell us
Kombucha
about kombucha.
is a live, raw, fermented food. It's naturally effervescent. It has natural.
Did she
Here
just
we
use
go.
that word again? Can you help us out with effervescent?
It's bubbly.
Oh, bubbly.
It's
Okay, I like that.
sparkly. And it has just wonderful natural probiotics in it. It's delicious. You should try it.
Good for you, but a lot of it tastes like dirty sock. So what brand doesn't taste like dirty sock?
Oh, there's so many.
What's your
GT's
favorite?
is one of my favorite.
And where do you get it?
You can get it at anywhere. You can get it at Yolks, Target, Albertsons, lots of places.
Wow, so is this in the health food section where they would find that?
It
or?
can be, yeah, or just in
Or
the
the
cold
refrigerated.
drinks, refrigerated cold drinks, yeah.
I try to avoid that section as much as I possibly can.
Okay then.
Keith really needs this
I
podcast.
do need this podcast.
So we're going into the holiday season, and Angie and I were just talking before we started the podcast that it's really hard to stay away from white sugar and flour during the holidays.
Cookies.
And we're not wanting to dump extra guilt on you, so we were talking about ways of cutting back on that because sugar actually weakens your immune system.
Big
Wait a minute,
time.
didn't you
Big
guys
time.
both start your podcast with your Christmas Eve podcast with,
With
hot
hot
chocolate
chocolate.
and marshmallows?
Moderation.
Okay.
You made us
I'm
do
just-
that.
I'm
You
just-
made us.
Moderation. Which, by the way, we're having a Christmas podcast again this year.
Oh, it'll be fun.
Can't believe it's been almost a year.
Yeah.
So sugar, do it in moderation. You don't want to overdo it, especially if you feel like you're coming down with something. Stay away from the sugar. It will just make it worse.
Yeah.
Some things that I've done over the years just to cut back on sugar a little bit and try and make things more healthy is like we love date balls with the little Rice Krispies and then they're rolled in coconut. And you can modify that to cut back on the sugar and use the unsweetened coconut on the outside and
So like healthy Rice Krispie treats? That's what you're saying?
yeah, kind of, sorta.
Rice Krispie treat date balls.
And making Trim Healthy Mama has this great raspberry oat bar recipe. It's like a bar cookie that we really like. I haven't made it for a long time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just finding alternative things for the sweets
Right.
and just trying not to overdo it. We talked too about just trying to limit, your favorite sweets, like the really, really good ones, to like the actual holiday or the actual day of the gathering and try not to just be continuing to snack on the leftovers all week long.
Well, the other thing that we do is if we're going to have sugar, make sure you have a protein with it or you're going to get that sugar high and then that
Yes.
tank, and that's really hard on your immune system.
Yeah.
Hey, can we just declare that the flies are our special guest today?
Seriously, what is with the
I don't know.
flies?
It's like the
They like
flies
your house.
are here today. Yeah,
I'm telling
this
you,
guy's-
there's like
It's the weather.
Twilight Zone in the Bennett house this week.
Yeah, I keep having this flashback to the Pearl Harbor movie when this fly bombs me. It comes flying by my eyes. Maybe it's these new glasses. It's like he's like 16 feet wide. It's a guy thing. So if there's any guys listening, the Pearl Harbor new movie.
Pearl Harbor.
They're diving down on the ships. The flies dive bombing me.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, back to
Anyway.
birth topics.
Birth topics. Immune support.
Oh,
Moving
wow.
on. Okay. Fluids. Extra fluids. Eating your colors, meaning eating your fruits and vegetables in as many colors as you can get in.
Yeah.
Throw garlic in everything. It's soup season, guys.
Woo.
Throw the garlic
I like
in.
garlic.
I do too, and
Love it.
garlic is just great for your immune system. Eat good protein, and then this one's kind of hard during the holidays, but get good sleep and reduce stress.
I know it kind
Yeah,
of
how
feels
do you do that
hopeless,
one?
right? Like even as you say it,
I know,
we
I'm
all
like,
know we should do it, but
Yeah, but in general. So we wanted to review some products today that we really like that you can use, some of them for your entire family. So Angie, you want to grab one and start?
sure. So these ones on the end here are dropper bottles. They are herbs. They're the ones that came from Mountain Meadow Herbs. I highly suggest that you check this out. You can order a free catalog if you want, and it's just really fun to flip through. I mean, there's all kinds of amazing mixes in here, and they're all custom mixed so that it's not just one single herb. It's like a concoction that's
combination.
really great for things. So we've got Echinacea Extreme here. These are really easy to take. I love the droppers. I love
And
how
they
they just
don't
go in the
taste
water.
bad.
They're really not.
The majority of them are in a glycerin base instead of an alcohol base.
So you're dropping that directly under your tongue or in a glass of water? Or?
Either way.
Okay.
And right on the bottle, it will tell you, there's like a little code system here. It will tell you if it's safe in pregnancy, if it's safe for infants, if it's safe for nursing, if it's safe for children.
Yeah. This one, Family Immune Booster, it says safe for all ages. So pregnancy,
Right.
babies, this is just an all-around great
And it
one.
gives you the dosages. And in the catalog, there's actually dosages for each age. And I love these guys. I can call them at any time and just say, hey, I have a question about a product. Is this the best one that I should use for this, that, or the other? And they have counselors that actually talk to you and tell you yes. Or maybe I'd
fun.
suggest this other one, and they'll give you the dose.
That's cool.
For your
I didn't know
infant
that.
even. Yeah,
love
really
that.
great company. So they have a product called Stomach Aid that can be really helpful for flu when you have stomach flu. Echinacea in general is great just for immune boosting throughout the year or the flu season. The Family Immune Booster comes in the Echinacea and Elderberry blend. So elderberry's kind of been a big topic lately.
Yep.
And it's safe in pregnancy, safe for children.
Nice.
But this one is a combination. And you know, a lot of my clients put these in juice for themselves or their kids, and you really don't even taste them. Or if you make a smoothie in the morning, throw them in.
Right. And we should maybe say, I don't know, but we're not like affiliated with any
No.
of these people or companies. These are just our
I
favorites.
just
Like,
love these
we
products.
hand these out to people, to our clients, to our families. We take them. So
Yeah.
these are just a few of our
Two of our
faves.
favorites. This one I really like. It's the Respiratory Blend. So anytime that we start getting like a cruddy throat, like that croupy kind of, or laryngitis-y type thing, or chest congestion, get going on this one. Dosages are on it. I should let you tell them about the, it's technically called bio-vegetarian.
It tastes like garlic.
Garlic and cayenne. You better
Yeah.
swallow it with like a
That-
chewed up banana
I
or
always
something, or
say
it
that's
burns
best
going down.
when it goes down fast.
Are those
And
the
they're
ugly
big.
pills?
These are the ugly
Yeah, we call them
pills.
ugly pills. They are big pills, but I would say that probably saves us a lot of sleepless
Yeah.
nights in our family. We all pop those when we start not feeling
The
good.
minute I feel something coming on, like a scratch, a headache, that feeling like you're getting a cold, body ache, anything, we'll take 2 of these like every 4 to 6 hours until we start feeling better. And honestly, I've knocked out so much. This has vitamin A, C, B6, magnesium, zinc, bioflavonoids, echinacea, 2 different kinds, myrrh, ginger, cayenne, garlic,
There it is.
barberry, Oregon grape, and grapefruit seed. So there's a couple things in here that are not safe for pregnancy.
Okay.
Gotta love the cayenne. Did you say cayenne
But if you're,
pepper?
oh, the cayenne pepper,
Does
yeah.
that like
Clean
burn
sinus-
your
Clean
stomach?
your sinuses
No,
right out.
no, but do eat some food with it.
Disclaimer.
Do eat some food with it. So this is our other favorite.
Yes, this is called Asparatox. It is a super powered Echinacea blend, and it does have some other herbs in there as well. But this is so amazing. It's our go-to for so many things. We use this in our GBS protocol, group B strep for pregnancy. It is great for yeast infections, for getting sick, for any kind of infection really, and it's great because it covers viral and bacteria.
Yes,
and
it's
just
like
a great immune boost.
the duct tape and WD-40 of the immune system, right?
Yeah, and these are super easy to take. They're little chewables. They don't taste bad. Kids can get them down.
Kids will eat them.
Yeah, if a kid can chew something up, they can take these. So
Have they ever
they're
tried chalk?
awesome.
If they've ever tried chalk, they don't taste
It
like
does
chalk.
not taste like chalk. Oh my land.
This is another one of my all-time favorites. This is Chestol. It is a homeopathic cough syrup, and I gotta tell you, last Christmas, no, it was the Christmas before, when my adult kids came home and everybody got the crud, like the croupy crud, we had a bottle of Robitussin chest and mucus relief in the cupboard, and we had a bottle of this. So they tried both. And my adult children told me that they thought that the Chestol with honey, which is a homeopathic cough syrup, worked better than Robitussin.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely safe.
I feel like Robitussin will dry you out. That felt like it just.
It just
Took away the
loosens
tipple.
everything,
Yeah, took away the
and
tipple.
It helps stuff drain like crazy.
yeah, it just
really
liquefies
well.
everything and takes the cough away. Because this has honey in it, you don't want to give it to children under a year old, but they do have a product for children. And I'm just loving this one. It's totally safe in pregnancy.
We always have this in our house. I don't like to be without it, so that when something comes on, you don't have to
Exactly.
rush around and find it.
Yeah, the Asparatox and the Chestol, everyone should have it in their cupboard for winter.
Yep.
What about Garden of Life vitamin brand?
Yeah, they have so many different products in Garden of Life. I mean, they carry a ton of different things, probiotics and vitamins for all different ages and stages. We always have this in the office for our clients. This is a prenatal, but their stuff is whole food based, and it's just super high quality. So any of the stuff in this brand is going to be good.
Yeah, they have children's, they have probiotics, they have iron and bees and
Yep.
yeah.
And this is a great idea because whole food based nutrition is really where we want to get. It's our first line of defense. So what you eat.
Well, your body absorbs it so much better than something synthetic.
Yes.
I tell people you can go buy a prenatal at Walmart or even, Target or Costco, and you're going to absorb some of it, but you're wasting half your money because the other half or more of it is not even able to be assimilated. So spend a little more money and get something that your body's actually going to be able to use. What's this one?
Oh, that's vitamin D.
Vitamin D3. You're hearing a lot about that lately.
Yep.
So everybody needs a little vitamin D. Anyone I've ever tested has been low.
Yep.
Unless it's the middle of summer and they spend a lot of time outside.
Sunshine.
So, yeah.
Get as much
Natural
sunshine as
vitamin
you
D.
can.
So it's good to just do vitamin D in general. In fact, they've been saying that even COVID has responded to doses of vitamin D. So not something bad to think about. This is my favorite probiotic. It is by the same company that makes the Asparatox. These are little tiny pearls of probiotics. So there's a billion CFU in each one. The reason that I like it so well is because most probiotics, the gel capsule or the powder that you take or the liquid, it will disperse in your stomach, your actual stomach. This is a really hard-coated probiotic pearl. It travels all the way down to your actual gut where it's needed, and then by then it dissolves. So it gets to where it's really needed.
Yep.
And so for those people out there that don't know, what a probiotic does to help us understand a little bit, because I know a little bit, but educate.
Go ahead, Angie.
Oh, thanks.
Go ahead, Angie.
Guys, I'm not an expert at all, seriously. I really don't know that much about it, but there are just bacteria that live in your gut all the time.
Yeah, there's good bacteria and
There's
bad
good
bacteria.
bacteria and bad bacteria, and a probiotic is basically just a live, good bacteria, so that you're flooding your gut with those good bacteria. And I don't know how it all works, but the good bacteria communicates with your immune system. And
this replaces that good bacteria.
yes, and your immune system, I mean, I didn't know this, but it's like more than 90% resides in your gut. You know,
It all
heard that.
starts in the gut.
so it's just huge.
Well, the other big bonus with this is that it helps a lot with indigestion. It also helps with constipation
Yeah.
or people that are having problems the other direction.
Yeah.
It just really regulates things.
Yep.
Even with infants, I have infants having tummy trouble, and we'll do probiotics with them. And
Yes.
I carry a, it's called Therabiotics. It's a powdered infant probiotic that you can, mix in with things or just wet your finger and dip in it and
Yeah.
have them suck it off of your finger. So that's been very helpful even with colic.
Yep,
Another thing that I keep in my house is zinc lozenges.
yep.
That's great for any kind of a sore throat thing. Do you guys ever gargle with like a diluted hydrogen peroxide for a sore throat?
We do.
Or
We tend to
salt
gargle
water.
usually more with like essential oils or something, but yeah.
Yeah, essential oils are another thing that is great for your immune system, and that's a whole nother podcast.
Right.
So lysine is a staple in our house. My family tends to get like canker sores in their mouth from viruses going around. We can get a sore throat and a cold like the same one everybody else has, and we end up with a canker sore or two. And they can really be painful.
Yes.
If you start hitting it with lysine immediately, you can knock it out.
Nice.
And it really, really is helpful for just colds in general.
Yeah.
So, homeopathic remedies, are they safe for anyone?
Totally safe. Check out a couple podcasts ago we did a really fun podcast on homeopathics with Dr. Virginia Fraser. That was a great one, actually, really informative.
Yeah, you'll want to watch that.
But yeah, homeopathics, totally safe for anybody, and you don't even necessarily have to totally know what you're doing with them. Just get a guide for like which one is good for a cold or a flu, and you can just
Or
blitz
they're-
it, like do a bunch of different remedies in one.
Like this one, this is a Nova liquid product, and I really like those because you can put them like in your kids' water or their juice.
Yeah.
Nothing too strong because remember, strong odors like essential oils and garlic, onion, mint can nullify homeopathics, but they come in combinations. So like this one is called flu, and it says for one or more of the following symptoms: chills, fever with muscle and joint aches, maybe nausea and or stomach flu symptoms.
Yeah, the thing that is cool that I've discovered with homeopathics is when you look at their guides, it's really specific. So it's like,
It
we
is.
want this one for not just congestion, but for this type of congestion. This one's for cough, it's for a wet cough, or this one's for a dry cough. So that's pretty cool how
Or
specific it is.
Sometimes they'll talk about your constitution, which means your basic makeup. So sometimes like a dark-haired, fair-skinned, really emotionally sensitive person is a classic pulsatilla.
Wow,
So sometimes pulsatilla works for a lot of different
know
things for that person.
that's cool.
And we use homeopathics at birth. We talked about that in the other one. A few others that are great to have around is throat, any kind of a throat thing going on, difficulty swallowing, painful glands, when your glands start getting sore. Sinus, this one's awesome. This is cough, so many different types of cough, and like Ginger talked about on the podcast, this is like a shotgun effect. There's many, many different
Exactly.
homeopathics in it, so one of them's bound to
Yeah, it's
hit
a blend.
that specific. And then the respiratory is great also. They even have an asthma, and again, this company is Nova Homeopathic Natural Remedies. You can't get these through Amazon, so I wasn't able to do a link for you on our webpage, but you can go to the Nova company and order them, and they're really not expensive at all, and they last forever.
And we'll put the webpage links in the
yeah,
YouTube
we'll
video
put all of
notes.
that up.
Cool.
So There are a few people that I tend to follow as far as natural things, and you probably have some too, but one that I really, really like, she's been around forever, is Dr. Aviva Romm, Romm, and she can be found on her Facebook page. You can just Google her. Like, I had someone with fluid in their ears, and we had tried different homeopathic remedies and couldn't get the fluid out, and I thought, I wonder if Aviva has anything about that, and sure enough,
almost always does.
Sure enough, she had a remedy for that was an herbal supplement. So I was like, great. But she even has recipes for you to make your own homemade cough syrup and decongestant for your children. She gives you the dosages. She has all kinds of stuff about what's safe in pregnancy and what's not.
She's really great. If you guys haven't checked out Aviva Romm, you should, because she started out as a midwife and has a midwifery background for years and years, and then became a doctor.
Doctorate degree. She's she's actually a doctor, right?
Yeah, no, she's a doctor, but she has integrative medicine, so she she pulls from all the sides. But it's just really cool that she has that midwifery piece as well, and she just is so good for mamas and families, and
and she's got a lot of Facebook Live and just things going on Facebook with things for the season.
After all these years, what was the biggest aha for you guys when it comes to these type medications, rather than going to get a prescription from a doctor? Because all this stuff is available, right, for anybody, anytime. Some of it's safe for children, some of it isn't, but they even have children type. So what was the biggest
prescription
aha in
needed
all of these years? Because I know with our 4 kids, you discovered this, after?
Probably with our third one, So 28 years ago is when I really started, diving into the homeopathics and more natural route to things. I think just because it gives our body a chance to build its own natural immune system, like antibiotics, for instance. When we take antibiotics, it wrecks our good bacteria in our gut. So we have to replace it with probiotics.
Right.
So why do we want to give ourselves something that's going to wreck our system? Let's do some of this that complements what our body's already trying to do and builds our own body's immunity.
Yeah, I'll never forget a doctor was prescribing an antibiotic for me, and I think it was back when I had bronchitis and got an infection, and I remember him saying to me that, I said, well, how long can I stay on this, because sometimes like one dose doesn't kick it. He says, well, you really don't want to go too many doses because of what it does to your other things in your body, the good things.
Yeah, there's no side effects from these things.
Right, exactly.
There's not a negative to it. So
yeah.
I don't know. It feels good to know you're doing something natural for your body that's working with it and not against it, and it's safe.
Right.
Yeah, I know. For us, having all these resources is just huge, because our oldest is almost 11, and I think between all of our kids, they've never been on antibiotics ever for any illness. She was on something for a tooth thing, but that was different. And I think, never having to go to the emergency room or, in the middle of the night, like, you have so many resources, know that you're building their immune system. And so it just avoids a lot of the stress of, do we need to go to the doctor? Or do we need to go to the urgent care in the middle of the night?
Cost effective too.
So cost effective. Yeah, and like you said, that everything that you're doing is building the immune system and working with your body rather than putting stuff that could help but also has side effects or compromises, that sort of thing. So
so what about cost compared to like prescription medications? Is there a huge difference in cost for some of these?
Yeah, I mean, a typical homeopathic is less than $10 for either the pellets or the liquid. A large bottle of this blend is about $35, but there's 4 ounces here. It's going to last a long time.
And also there's no wait. Like, if you have this in your home, it's ready to go. Even if you don't have it, so many times, one of our kids is coming down with something. It's like, quick trip to the supplement store and you're ready to go. You're rocking and rolling.
Or she calls me and says, can we come grab some Asparatox?
Can we come to the midwife store?
So we would like to make this easily available for all of you without having to dig. So we will put the links in the store on the webpage. I'm not selling it. It'll give you a link directly to Amazon so that you can find it easily.
But just as a disclosure, we do get, it will help support the podcast if they do buy something off of our website.
Yeah, we might get like 25 or 30 cents
from the Amazon
from
link.
it.
So,
But honestly, it's there so that you can.
absolutely.
You
and then
can
the
find
other
it
links
easily.
will be in the notes as far as
Right.
the web pages and the people we mentioned.
And to get the catalog for Mountain Meadow Herbs, you'll want to go to their website, mmherbs.com.
mmherbs.com.
And you can request a catalog or order directly from them. And they have just about anything you can imagine.
Yep.
It's a great little catalog. So I think that wraps it up for today.
Sounds good.
I hope that you guys will stock your medicine cabinet with these things for winter. You won't be sorry.
Yep.
And live healthy, right?
And
Live
happily
healthily
ever
ever
after.
after.
Any last words, ladies?
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yep, stay healthy this winter.
Yep.
We'll see you
ya.
next podcast.
Thank you, Shannon and Angie, for another great episode here on More About Birth Season 2. Thank you, our listeners, for joining us. Also, remember, it's available on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel and share it with your friends and family. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you here next time. This podcast is intended for educational purposes only. For more information and our full disclosure, please visit NC-MIDWIFERY.com and our podcast page.